Envoy to speak about the situation in his country and the measures being taken. So welcome to WION. My first question to you is the South Korea is one of the worst affected areas across the world. What is the current situation right now? And we know that there are countries who are trying to distance themselves also from South Korea.
Well, actually, I can say that Korea is now in full control, and newly confirmed cases are decreasing significantly. Now it's 2-digit. And also, the important thing is that numbers of fully cured persons surpasses the numbers of newly confirmed cases. Mm-hmm. So overall situation is now improving a lot. That is the situation now in Korea. Mm-hmm.
So India has put in place certain travel restrictions. These are restrictions for all the countries in the world, including for South Korea. What do you like to say on that? Also, what is South Korea doing to make sure that there is no outflow of the coronavirus?
Korea is very strict in outbound travel. And when you come to the airport, then there are multiple of check test systems there. And also in Korea, we identify the coronavirus contact. That means that if you are exposed to an already infected person in 2 meters of range, then you are classified as a coronavirus contact, mm-hmm. close contact. Mm-hmm. Then you are, you are not allowed to travel abroad. Mm-hmm. Government controls it. Mm-hmm. So we are very tight and in controlling our outbound travel to other countries, that we don't harm other countries.
Mm-hmm. Don't harm other countries. But sir, South Korea has also emerged as a model, as a democratic model to control this crisis. Can you just talk about the measures taken by your government to make sure that this does not spread in your country?
When we say democratic, that means that we are very open and also transparent. And the government announces every kind of facts about this infection, disease, and government measures. And now people has a full confidence toward the government, mm-hmm. government announcement. And this is the most important thing of democratic procedures in Korea. Mm-hmm. And also, when you say, we are using very scientific and also technological methods. Mm. And also we use very innovative methods. Mm. Like already introduced a lot in the world, that we introduced drive-in check center, test center, drive-through check center. Mm-hmm. And even we introduced walk-through check center, test center, that who don't have a vehicle. Mm-hmm. And also we use these smartphone apps, which can follow all the movements of the people who are affected. Mm-hmm. That we give it to the general public, that where is the area, problematic area. Mm-hmm. Don't close to that area, or that kind of information. Mm-hmm. Korea is a very wired country. We use all these top-end technology in preventing and isolating this disease. Mm-hmm.
A lot of innovative measures. So talking about its impact on bilateral relationship, on India-South Korea bilateral relationship, what is the impact of this crisis?
Actually, as with other countries, most of the diplomatic activities, exchanges were all stopped. Mm-hmm. But what is the important thing is that important business project and should not be stopped. Mm-hmm. Because it needs sometimes timing is a very important element. So we are cooperating with the Indian government very efficiently, that we provide health certificate for the who has a compelling reason to visit India to install new kind of facility in the like Samsung, LG, and Kia, Hyundai. If we can explain it to your embassy in Seoul, and they accept it as compelling reason, and we provide these health certificate, and then now you see you allow it, some of them, and of course they are is kind of we accept the quarantine kind of things. So things are like that, and how to you see help these kind of economic business not make such a big problem. That is the most important what we now doing with the Indian government.
And so how it can be mitigated, the bilateral impact of this crisis? We know the restrictions which have been put in place. So any ways through which it can be mitigated?
You mean the mitigate?
Yeah.
I think that I can say up till now Korea was quite successful in mitigating all these coronavirus problem. We first, you see, tried to identify it. That means we used every possible these test facilities who are actually infected and isolate them. Then, you see, through that early kind of identification and isolation, so we can stop the spread of the virus, and also we can treat them easily. That's why the Korea's fertility rate, death rate is so low compared to even some other developed countries. So early detection is very important in case of Korea. But I think in case of India, this is such a big country. I think how to contain this spread of virus, I think this is the most important aspect. And I think Indian government is doing very well. And even I heard it from the WHO experts here in Delhi that up till now, India is doing very well. And we hope that you can make it, and then you can. It's such a 1.4 billion countries. If you make a successful resolve this very heinous issue, then India really will make a top country in the world as a biggest democracy.
So my last question to you is, G20 is now looking forward for a video conference. This idea was proposed by the Indian Prime Minister. It was accepted by the chair of the G20, Saudi Arabia. What do you think that G20 should do to make sure that this crisis does not spread? Should there be a coordinated response by the G20 countries as it was in the 2008 financial crisis?
I think in this multilateral kind of approach, I think India actually made a very good example by holding this SAARC summit. And actually, SAARC was almost a dead body up till now. Now it's revitalized. And your initiative, Prime Minister Modi's initiative, made it possible. And even this overcoming this long time history issue and terror issue. And you were successful in inviting Pakistan, even though the Prime Minister didn't come, his advisor came. But anyway, this is that 8-member or 9-member country multilateral regional cooperation regime made a effective conference. And I think India proposed a medical team to formulating a medical team, and also providing some financial assistance. I think this is a good initiative, and other countries also, they made out some suggestions. And I think in G20, I think is, of course, this G20, actually Korean President Moon Jae-in, a very close friend of Prime Minister Modi, he proposed to hold this G20 video conference actually on March 13, quite a long time ago, actually. Maybe he was the first one to propose this important meeting. And I think there will be some maybe technical problem. It's big group, and when actually maybe in United States it's daytime, in India maybe it will be in the night, or maybe not be easy. But anyway, every country has their own kind of problem. And in case of Korea, because as I told you, Korea is now fully controlling this invincible enemy. So we can provide our experience, and we can propose a medical team, or maybe financial help, or every country has something to contribute. I think this is a very good suggestion, and the proposal, like Prime Minister Modi, India's world's biggest country, and it will, I think, help a lot in resolving this issue.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to WION. And the clear message from South Korea is that South Korea can provide a model, a democratic model, to fight against this scourge, a scourge that has killed so many people across the world. With video journalist Sidhant Sibal for WION in New Delhi.